Well, guys, while everyone else was racing at the Las Vegas Supercross Finals, Mike and Alessi were here racing at an amateur race. Not only did they get to race at the amateurs, they had the track to themselves the following Monday. They've had more time on this track than local hero Broc Hepler. Maybe that's the reason for Moto #1 win. We'll see what happens here for Moto #2.
And proof positive, David, that piece that we did, you can notice the background looks very familiar. So take a look at the Honda starting grid. That was right there.
Yeah, they're very prepared. Maybe more prepared than anybody in this entire race. I mean, his first national, he went and weed-eated the hillsides for track time, bought a house in the area. They take things very, very serious, and they expect good results. So when they say they're going to win, and it sounds a little cocky to us, to them, it's normal.
Now, everybody just wants to be as fast as Jeff is, you know. I'm glad he said that, not Mike. Here we go, Moto #2. We'll see if he can repeat it on the KTM. Oh, and going down, one of our favorites, Broc Hepler. Mike Alessi, where is he? Hepler's down. There's no question about that. He's got a long road to hoe. Is it Mike Brown with a hole shot with Alessi in second? Good job, Mike Brown, the #3. The reason he has that single digit, David, you know and I know, he's a former 125 motocross champion, and he's trying to do it again with the young man, the 17-year-old just behind him, Alessi.
What a bummer for Broc Hepler, trying to get the bike started. You're supposed to be patient, take your time to start these things, but how do you take your time when the pack is racing away from you?
And also grooming the track. That starting straight, I mean, it's deep in there. I mean, that disc has spent some time in that full shot area.
Yeah, Rick Johnson running quickly down there to try to help Broc get going. Probably said a couple things to him as he was taking off. Think about, you know, some kind of a thing that says, hey, don't give up. Get everybody you can. This championship come down to a few points.
Talking about that championship, I mean, I don't want to call it young versus old, but definitely the young rider in Alessi, the more established veteran of Mike Brown. Some people thought he might be over with as far as American motocross is concerned. He's back, and he's showing you why he's back. He's fast, riding a privateer team, as you mentioned earlier. The Gem motorcycle sales, Thor Honda. Who would have thought Mike Brown having that single digit would have to be quite the privateer that he is?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, but it seems to be working well, you know. It's a low-pressure situation, and, you know, he has plenty to gain, not that much to lose. You know, the pressure's on the other guys that have all the support, but obviously that bike's pretty fast. He wouldn't have been able to get a whole shot going up a plowed hill. And remember, we showed you the flashback in that first moto with Brown and Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes is sitting right behind these guys.
Yeah, Ryan Hughes back in third spot, the 51 in fourth.
Alessi's like, uh-oh, I'm in between Brown, who could kill me, and Ryan Hughes, who wants to kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he's looking around so much.
Andrew Short back in the fourth position. You see Hughes coming over. Green flag means go. This is a long race, so anything can happen. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The #3, the Jim's motorcycle sales on. I don't know who Jim is, but thank you, Jim, for bringing Brownie back to the AMA motocross scene.
Yeah, the way it sits right now, Alessi would probably grab that overall too. So he doesn't have to pass Mike Brown. I don't know that he really wants to.
Yeah, 1-2 scores would definitely do it. Mike Brown got 7th in the first moto. 7-1 gives him 8 points for the overall championship. Now, for the series, though, it's done moto by moto. It's not a typical, you know, amateur race where you say, all right, 2-1 gives me first, that gives me my overall picture. You get points for every moto that you're out there.
Yeah, you can just kind of go as hard as you can go all the time. Now there's riders who try to take it a little bit easy. It's a mistake by Alessi, he covers well. There's riders who take it kind of easy, going, well, I don't need to get that guy this moto, I'll take that chance. But you know, later on in the series, you might be wishing you had passed that guy. Every single point counts. I won several of my titles by only a few points.
Mike Brown, look at him on the Honda. Been a factory rider for several years. Consistency is what's going to win him a championship. That's what won him. Hey, if you look back, I mean, he has been one of the fastest guys, but why is he not racing in the 250 class? Because if you're this established, been out there doing this long, why isn't he not riding the big class?
Yeah, you can say the same thing for Ryan Hughes and some of the other guys out there too, Nathan Rambert. But this 125 class is probably a little bit more unpredictable and easily as much of a premier class as the 250 is. So, you know, it's not like riders are going, well, I'm not ready for the 250 class. They're just saying, I can get a better ride.
Oh, look at this. Alessi going by, both feet off of the banks, going through those runs. A little Yahoo effect right there. I mean, that was a, here it goes. Maybe like Langston did to him in the last moto in Hangtown.
Right, he knew he had I guess the nerve to hold it wide open going down that hill, and he gained a little on the lap before, so all he did was position himself close enough in the corner before that second that pass. He changed his line, went down the inside, and caught Brown by surprise.
Let's see if Brown has anything for him. I mean, he's just not going to back down right now. Mike Brown in second spot, right number 3, chasing the 800 of Mike Alessi. KTM 4-star. I mean, it was a bonsai move, and downhills, you can make up so much time if you just want to light the throttle. It's not a braking point for some of these guys. It's actually an acceleration point. They charge down that hill instead.
And my dad used to say in school, it's just a straightaway at an angle. So pin it. He was really fast on downhill. You know, some people are a little bit more intimidated. It's just what makes it so difficult here is the rush. You've got to be in a rush, balance perfect at that speed for like, you know, 50 to 75 feet.
As Ryan Hughes, Andrew Short, and also Josh Grant now starting to work his way up. We'll see if they can close in on the #1 rider right now, Mike Alessi. He had a first win of the year in Moto1, and right now he's out in front of Moto2. Stick with us, and we'll find out if he can stay that way. Mike Alessi is your leader in Mount Lawrence. For the 125cc class, Mike Alessi is leading this one. Parts Unlimited presents the AMA Motocross Championships presented by FMF. Alessi going for perfect moto scores. There's the battle for a top 5 position, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Ryan Sykes and that WBR Suzuki trying to close in. You know him personally, Davey. Great kid.
Well, it was a tough first moto for him, but the bobble right there lets Millsaps get by, but you know, rebounding pretty well in this moto. This is the track where he made a name for himself last year, running 5th for a long time, and eventually finishing 7th. But he couldn't finish the second moto. He didn't quite have the fitness to go the distance. He's pretty spent after the first one. And here he is putting in his prime performance of the day. Now second moto.
Now he's trying to pick off a factory guy on a Suzuki, Davey Millsaps. Millsaps really starting to turn it on now. Had a problem in the first race of the season. Now showing his wares, finished 2nd in Moto1, trying to get up there again in Moto2. Maybe he has a shot at the overall.
I don't think these guys got a long ways to go to get up to Alessi, but definitely Millsaps is riding so much better. I wondered what happened to him in the first round, and to tell you the truth, Robbie, I didn't get a very straight answer. It was just like, he sort of rode around uninspired.
Well, I was hearing thumb, but I don't know if that was necessarily the case because he was out racing the next day or riding the next day.
Well, he had a good week, and as fast as he's going right now, it's hard to believe that thumb bothered him that much, healed that fast. But either way, you know, you definitely got to give him some credit for being able to turn things around after a disappointing round 1. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but the class is still consistent. Beautiful move.
Look at that, stepping right over the top, clipping the last section. Right there at the finish line, Davey Millsaps just blows by Andrew Short. I mean, one of the top riders in the 125 class. He just goes by and standing still, developed that rhythm, was able to jump over that and use it as a step up.
Yeah, I think that's just, you know, typical Millsaps. He's always been really good at that kind of stuff, and he's just making sure he sets the bike down in the right spot so he gets the right enough drive to hop up over that top jump. You see it quite a bit faster.
Josh Grant next up on the order. Grant just in front of him. We'll find out if he can close in on him, but a lot of people asking, where is our points leader, Grant Langston? Right now, Aaron Bates has his mechanic, Dan Rambert, down at the pits.
All right, we're down here with Dan, Grant Langston's mechanic. Dan, what took place there in Moto #1? We saw Grant go down. How's he doing?
He just caught his foot in a rut, twisted it a little bit, so you know what happened last week, so it's real sore, so he's going to sit out the rest of this one and hopefully be back and ready for Southwick.
Dan, a great guy. You know he's disappointed. Got paired up with a Grant who's been happy. Worked with him. Won the 125 East Coast Championship this year in Supercross. And another rider goes out just in front. This time it's Ryan Hughes. Rhino having some problems. Picks it up, keeps the bike running. That is very important.
It's a pretty good endo too. He just went into the corner, and the next thing I know, he's going over the handlebars. See how fast he got going though. You know, when I talked about last week, Rhino and Brown being sort of the bullies in this class, I think the more accurate word is they're just tough. You know, they've been around a long time, and little things don't get to them. And Rhino picked it up pretty fast. Not again. Another one.
And going down just as fast as Ryan Hughes. I mean, his rookie year was the same year as Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy's been here, done that, been out of it. Now Rhino's still in there competing. But a bobble right there, you don't expect to see things like that from Ryan Hughes. But right there, I mean, just a lack of focus. But here comes Davey Millsaps charging hard, just railing to the inside, and Josh Grant taking over another position. How bad does he want this thing, David?
Well, it's a combination that he wants it bad and he's riding well. You know, I mean, this is what a lot of people expected to see in the first round after Davi won the final Supercross shootout of the year in Vegas. They didn't come into the outdoors. He's found his rhythm again. And, you know, for Ryan Hughes, I think that second crash was just he was rushing it a little bit. He got his line crossed up with what Andrew Short was doing, and down he went again. So, I mean, you just can't crash like that at this class. Expect to have a solid day. He crashed at the first round of the first moto and did everything for him.
Oh, and what happened to Broc Hepler? He went down in the, not even the first turn. He didn't even get that far. He's currently in 19th place, but we started with 36 riders, and he's already passed half of them right now. Charging Harm, he has a lot, I mean, a ton of ground to make up. How far can he move up?
I don't know if he's going to be able to get into the top 10. Looking at how spaced out everybody is. And he needs a 45-minute moto right now to get up there where he belongs. But, you know, everyone's going to have their mulligan, you know? I mean,
hopefully.
Like, yeah.
It's in golf, Dave.
And especially with Alessi, you know, those tee shots are looking pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, he's swinging straight through, hitting it straight. Mike Alessi, the leader on the Red Bull KTM. He's ahead of Mike Brown, Davi Millsaps, Josh Grant, and Ryan Sykes rounding out the top 5 as it stands right now. Railing that outside line, showing you just how fast the KTM 4-stroke in the 125 class is. Mike Alessi leads Moto number 2. He won Moto number 1. He's going for his first overall, but Browning's not backing down. We'll see if he can catch up. Here in Mount Morris, only one rider will do so right now. Mike Alessi is in front. Let's talk to his mechanic.
Paul, it seems that Mike and Mike are running neck and neck this whole race. There's a distinct difference between the two. What's going on?
They're actually both good friends, so they like riding together, so they're having fun.
Is there any weight advantage difference? Mike Alessi is probably about 35, 40 pounds lighter than Mike Brown.
Yeah, but I think that's equaled out in Mike's speed down the hills because he can hang on a little bit tighter, so he can charge those things better, so it all equals out.
So what is he saying? He's saying Brown is chunky?
Well, you know, if Brown didn't get that whole shot, I'd be sitting here saying he needs, you know, he's always going to be at a disadvantage compared to Mike. But right now, he's putting the pressure on. They might be friends, but I think Alessi's going to have to give up his position here. Because Brown, this is his track. He's the favorite here. A lot of people that are impressed with what Alessi's doing, but there's also a lot that are still not quite sure what to make of him. They're going, man, we want Brown to beat him.
If they can't cheer for Broc Hepler, the hometown favorite, they may be cheering for Brown because he did win here. We saw it in that flashback. It's almost a duplicate, except this time the KTM instead of Ryan Hughes is Mike Alessi. That was 2003, and it looks like a replay again, but this time, look at Brown. He is not backing down, and you know, I mean, the way he's setting him up, it looks like he's trying to find one spot on the track. He's trying to set him up a little bit later.
He's trying to study him right now and get comfortable with that pace. You know, and as soon as you get comfortable with the pace and see what lines he's doing, then you can start to figure out how you want to do it.
Let's go down to his mechanic, Corey Shea.
Corey, it looks though Mike is following right on Mike Alessi's backside. What's going on here? Is he going to wait till the very last second, last ditch effort, make a pass on the last lap?
Mike Brown will do whatever it takes to win, so whatever happens, I'm sure Mike's been already thinking about the last couple laps.
I just asked Mike Alessi's mechanic the same question about weight advantage. Do you think that Mike's at a disadvantage because he's probably about 35, 40 pounds heavier than Mike Alessi?
Pro Circuit has Mike Brown figured out, so I'm sure we're not lacking in the motor department at all.
Oh, you gotta love that right there. Confident in the equipment out there, and Aaron's trying to start trouble. Well, you know, he's 40 pounds heavier. Do you think he can do it?
Well, he's certainly got more strength, more experience, more fans here at this track.
Uh-oh, and also running up next, he showed a wheel on Mike Alessi. Alessi looked over and went, uh-oh, he is closing in. Another flashback of just, you know, last week in Hangtown, and Langston got by the last turn. This time, it doesn't take that long. Mike Brown takes over the lead.
Kind of surprised that Alessi was looking to his right the whole time and never saw Brown. Then he moved over to his right and opened the door. So maybe he was going, you know what, I don't really want to deal with this guy that much more. And if he gets me, maybe I can sit back here with less pressure and don't have to beat him for the overall, but possibly get him back. I don't know. It's all I can figure with the reason. His reasoning for going wide back there.
And how about this story? Mike Brown, the 2001 125 motocross champion, takes over lead, and this is how he does it.
Mike already knew. He's like, oh, shoot, I should have gone over here, but he should have known that all the way down the straightaway. He had the line covered.
Oh, you moved out of it. I mean, you gave it not an inch, but a mile to the inside there as well. There was nothing you could do. Last lap, Mike Brown out in front. took a 7th place in Moto number 1. He's going for the win here. It's not going to give him the overall. That should go to Mike Alessi if everything stays the same, but it will give him more points going for this championship. And the points lead coming out here, you're exactly right. Look at that. The crowd is definitely cheering for him. What happened to Alessi? Loses some drive and basically just holds off for maybe the overall instead?
Yeah, he's definitely going, you know what, last week didn't end up so great, so I don't have to win this moto to be the winner of the day. So he's smart, he's a quick learner. Good for Brown. I'm sure he'll be happy for him, their friends. And, you know, you don't want to be beat by people you don't like. So he's happy for Brown, but he's a lot happier for what he's just accomplished today, which he thought he could do this year.
And Davi Millsaps worked his way all the way into the 3rd spot. Should get him up on the podium. Checker flag comes out. History is made. Not only does Mike Brown win another moto, his first event win was back in 1995 in Washougal. This guy takes his first event win right here today on the factory KTM. The Red Bull machine of Mike Alessi wins Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. And he takes 1-2 moto scores for the overall. You look at the stats here, 1995, 10 years ago, David. I mean, that's a hardy career. But, man, 2001 champion, can he do it again?
Well, from what I'm seeing right now, he's definitely in the driver's seat after this round.
All right, David, let's take a look at our Honda highlight. You need a good start.
Well, besides Hepler going down in a tango with Tedesco, I want you to notice what's going on up front. Number 800, Mike Alessi, both motos, a great start. Not the whole shot, but 2nd place. Something he was able to turn into the lead by the midway point, lead all the way to the finish in the 1st moto, but in the 2nd moto, he couldn't quite hold off a hard charge at Brown. He flat landed the finish, took the inside. Mike left the door open there a little bit, but he didn't need to keep that shut. He had the overall anyway.
Mike Brown, congratulations, taking the whole shot right off the bat. Following behind Mike Alessi, you waited till the very last moment, 3 laps to go, and you made the pass. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, Mike was riding really well, and I picked up a few good lines from him, and, you know, followed him, and, you know, hoping he would get a little tired and get a little squirrely, but I think, you know, he realized that he could win. And, you know, I just waited to the end. I didn't want to get too in front of him too early and show him any good lines.
Veteran of the 125 class, Mike Brown still showing the kids that he knows what to do.
2001 champ Mike Brown takes the victory. So take a look at the Suzuki Moto results. Great ride by Josh Grant, number 35. And Kelly Smith rounds out the top 10. Let's go back down to the victory podium and Aaron Bates.
Davey, congratulations, picking up a 2nd overall. You got to be really happy with that.
Well, you know, the starts were kind of killing me this week, and you know, I got the whole shot in LCQ and everything, but you know, I had to work my way up to the front, and I thought I rode good. You know, I had the fastest lap time out there. You know, rode consistent, worked my way up to 3rd. You know, I didn't know what place I thought I was in 2nd. You know, 1st moto I thought I was in 1st. Who knows? You know.
Oh, I know. You were in 2nd overall. 2-3 gives you 2nd behind Alessi, Brown, Short, and Hughes round out the top 5. As we look at the 2nd page, Tedesco finishes in 7th overall, and Nathan Ramsey on the factory KTM in 10. Let's go down to his teammate.
3rd to last lap, Mike Brown, he made the pass on you. It looked as though you were going to play it smart, play it safe. You just kind of sat back and let it happen, and you settled in. 2nd place was just okay with you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I wanted the overall for sure. I mean, Brownie, you know, we're really good friends, and we had a great race going the whole race, and the last 2 laps, you know. You know, I could have risked it and went down and lost the overall, but I played it smart. You know, give the fans something to, you know, to remember. You know, that whole race was good, all the way to the last 2 laps, and I just let Brownie go. I knew I had the overall.
But it's Mike Brown with the championship points lead now, ahead of Alessi and Hepler in 3rd.
There's plenty of time for those kids to catch up. The big story, I think, is Langston dropping all the way back to 8th and tied with Hughes, who had engine failure at Hangtown, starting to rebound.